Yes, people, hope you're well. Welcome back to a combat catch up, joined by the two legends, that is Luke Tanner and Jamie Phillips. So, I'm going to ask you guys to do click the link in the description, subscribe to Luke's channel, subscribe to Jamie's channel, and we are back for another one. On this show, we're going to be speaking about fallout from UFC 304, going to be speaking about the Mokaev situation, which is pretty ugly, to be honest. Also going to be speaking about the heavyweight or potential heavyweight tournament that was suggested by Tom Aspinall, and the UFC Sphere card has been officially announced. Luke, Jay, how are you guys doing this evening?
Not too bad.
I'm loving life.
Not too
I
bad.
feel better. I've got over COVID. My daughter's got over COVID. She's like, it's mad how quick I was downhill and then we both came back out of it. Like it never happened.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys did though.
2 days, like I was feeling shit. And then yesterday, I just felt a load better. And then Penny's like brilliant today. It's mad how it comes and goes so quickly. But that's because I'm a pure athlete.
Don't forget the humility, Jay. Don't forget the humility as well.
Oh man.
No, good to hear you guys are on the other side of it as well, man.
Yeah, all good.
Good to hear. Luke, how are you, bro?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Both got your chef hats ready because there's going to be some cooking, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I got to shout out Chris Brack straight away. Evening all. Edward Loss and Steve Bruce to be the new Jamaican manager, all coming up Rose Callum. Yeah. Chris has been on to me since Saturday night. Be out yourself, Chris. Shout out to Theo, Makama, CJ, Ennie, Football Gossiper, Rams, Dan J as well. Hope you guys are well. Smash that like button if you haven't already, please, guys. Right, boys, let's start with UFC 304. A lot of hype going into the card, but also a lot of reservations with the timing of the card for UK fans and UK fighters. Overall, the main card, how did you rate it though? Luke, I'll start with you. If you had to give it a rating out of 5 or out of 10, what would you have given it?
6.
Keep that there. Jay, what would you have given yours?
3.5
out of 10.
If I were, out of 10, yeah, 3.5 out of 10.
Have you rewatched it, Jamie, since the weekend?
Yeah,
bloody hell. 3.5 out of 10, Jay.
It was boring. It was boring. The crowd was dead.
I'm not surprised you were falling asleep. And then Nima's tweeting on Twitter about, this can never be like in America. Yeah, because it's not fighting at 5 a.m. in America, is it?
Yeah. No, exactly. It was a dead card.
It wasn't a great event, to be fair. Like,
I don't think there was a good fight. I think Aspinall and Pimblett were the only highlights. Everything else was dead.
So I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, which equates to a 5 out of 10. If we actually look at the main card, if I said to you, the first fight, good fight. Second fight, it was the second fight.
Robocop.
Robocop. Another good fight.
Oh, it's boring.
You didn't fight as if it was a good fight?
Oh, it's a solid fight.
It's a good fight. It's an okay fight. Maybe good too high.
I need a finish. These boys are
poor. Probably poor matchmaking though. Like this is where I sort of if you know that you're changing the time in the UK.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Surely your matchmaking's got to be better.
Yeah, but he's got the matchmaking of a dwarf in Snow White, hasn't he? You know what I mean? He ain't.
But hold on. All right, so I want to speak about the timing, guys, because a lot's been made of the timing, and fighters have said that they couldn't acclimatize to it, etc. Tom Aspinall spoken about it, saying he couldn't sleep during the day. Edwards has come out and said he just felt flat. Arnold Allen said he barely slept. Nathaniel Wood, straight after his fight during his press conference, said he barely slept in 48 hours, just wanted to get out of there and go to sleep. However, Michael Bisping made a really good point. The last time there was a fight card at that time in the morning in the UK was his fight against Dan Henderson, the rematch. That was given fight of the night, and if I'm not mistaken, on the main card there was about 3 or 4 other finishes and bonuses galore. Was it just a case of it was just a bit of an unlucky situation in the sense of Bilal Edwards was rarely gonna, like, no one ever thought that was gonna be a barn burner of a fight?
Agreed.
Aspinall, we all expected a finish there. Why? Because Aspinall's a finisher and Blades can be a finisher as well. Pimblett and Green, we all kind of said we thought Pimblett would get the job done and win inside the distance. He did. Robocop and CLD, that was a late replacement fight. And then Arnold Allen and Giga. Giga's rarely gets finished and Arnold Allen rarely gets finished, but they don't often get finishes themselves. So could it not just be a case of it wasn't it was just bad matchups, as you alluded to earlier? And if that's the case, don't the company have to hold their hands up and say, you know what,
yeah.
Oh, well, no, because Dana would never want to, put the blame on his buddies that they put together a crap. Well, they didn't put together a good card, and you had fans falling asleep in the arena.
Yeah, but those are probably fans who drank excessively, right?
Yeah.
I personally think it's mentality, which is something I'm going to talk about Edwards later.
Okay,
but also,
shots fired.
Bisping and Anderson and all that were better fighters. These fighters
it wasn't Bisping Anderson, it was Bisping and Henderson. Dan Henderson.
Oh, even better fighters then. I mean, they're just better fighters. It's just a fact.
You look at that dog.
Yeah, and they have that dog about them. Look at the people that got finishes. They got that dog about them. And especially Aspinall. Aspinall said he woke up at 7 a.m. and couldn't go back to sleep. And he fought Curtis Blades. But he's got that dog about him where he's got that mentality of a pure winner and a finisher and a killer. And that's why he won his fight. The rest of them, they lack mentality. I don't think there's a lot of fighters in UFC today that are killers. And I'm not, I know it's not the greatest term to use of everything going on in the world right now, but everyone knows what I mean. It's just not got that. They've not got that in them. I look at the mentality of fighters back in 5-10 years ago to today. I think there's more decisions today than there used to be back in the day. I think fighters used to be far better. They were killers. They had better mentality. They just wanted to destroy people. Today, people are happy just getting decisions. And that's why UFC is boring.
Can I play devil's advocate, Jay? Sorry to just cut in there, Luke. If I play devil's advocate, could you not argue that the fighters have got better, though? And that's why there's so many decisions, because the gap has been closed a bit more.
I don't think they're better. I don't think anyone today beats any of the greats of the past in their prime.
You don't?
I really don't. I think George St. Pierre destroys the welterweight division. He's prime.
I think the thing is today, they're boring. I think we're touching it with Edwards. Everyone wants to be clean technically.
Yeah.
They want to have a technical masterclass. And sometimes, if a fight's not going too well, fuck the technical. You got a job to do. You're the bite down on the shield.
You ain't got it in him.
Get shit done.
Edwards ain't got that dog. And unfortunately, it's just something about him that hasn't got it. Look at his career. He's had 2 knockouts in his last 12 fights. The man, he hasn't got that dog in him. He hasn't got that thing where he bites that he's losing. The only time he did it was against Usman. Apart from that, he barely does it. He hasn't got it in him. He's a safe fighter. He always has been. He won't.
Fighter.
Yeah, he's technical and safe, and he's a tremendous martial artist. But he hasn't got that thing in him where I'm just going to go to war. I've got to win. I'm going to go to war. In the 4th round, his coach is basically slapping the shit out of him physically. Like, you've got to do something.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you've got to do something. I look at, and this is my thing with fighters today. I don't know what it is. And with Dana, I do agree. I hate Dana, but some things I do agree with him with. Some fighters
increase.
Yeah, some fighters are just. You look at Tom Aspinall. He's got that dog in him, ain't he? I don't think there's a heavyweight alive that's better than Tom Aspinall right now. All right, in any whatever division, any promotion, he's the best heavyweight in the world. And when he fights John Jones, it'll be over in 2 minutes. That's what I'm telling everyone right now.
Can't wait for Calvin to pop up in the chat.
He will flatline. He will flatline Fat John Jones in 2 minutes, right? Because he's got a killer. He's got killer mentality. His 18 fights have only gone 40 minutes in total.
That's crazy.
He's got a killer inside him that just wants to destroy people. That's what we want to see.
And he's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, he's the nicest guy. But he will bite down. And he's dangerous. And how many more fighters we've seen like that? we ain't seen the Bispings of the world in the middleweight division at the moment. There's too many safe fighters out there. Too many safe fighters.
I obviously am going to speak about the Leon Edwards situation. Obviously, the situation with Leon Edwards has put a massive strain on mine and Jamie's friendship, as you all know.
Pretty much over. Pretty much over. He sent me a black bouquet today. Can you imagine that? That's death. That's death. Open the door. Open the door. This is from Mr. Sanderson. Like, what is it? Oh, what's Cal sent me? Oh, I couldn't believe it. That's it. It's over. It's over.
Jamie on last week's show said Bilal's gonna win. I want Bilal to win, and I thought to myself, you know what? Jay's entitled to his opinion. Leon's gonna win, but Jay's entitled to his opinion. When it was 3 minutes into the 5th round, I felt a wave of hate come over me, and I was like, "Whoa, what am I feeling?" And I looked at the screen, and I just saw the smugness on Jamie's face, and I was like, "But he's my friend. Why does he want to see me in pain like this?" But lo and behold, Bilal did it. I'm gonna say some stuff about Edwards, and I want to see if you guys think I'm overreacting or not. Like what you both said, especially yourself, Luke, and Jay, actually, he's a phenomenal martial artist. He hasn't really got any holes in his game from a physical standpoint. But I do think the mentality, there is something there. I think there's something holding him back. And we saw it in the Colby fight. We saw it in the second Usman fight before he got the head kick knockout. We've just seen it for a while now, where even the Nate Diaz fight, he could have got Nate out of there, in my opinion. Nate's not easy to finish, but he could have really doubled down and got Nate out of there.
Yeah.
I think he treats MMA as a sport, but too much of a sport. Tom Aspinall treats MMA as a sport, but he also knows the sport is there, but it's a fight at the end of the day. I need to finish this. I have to finish this. Leon is happy just to win the sport aspect. And when things aren't going his way, he doesn't almost have that switch in him. And I allude to someone like a Terence Crawford. I know it's a different sport. Terence Crawford was fighting Sean Porter. And before I think the 11th round, his coach said to him, he's like, "Look, you're losing this fight." And Crawford was like, "I'm losing." He said, "I think you're losing this fight." And Crawford said to him, "All right, I'm going to get him out." He got off his stool and he got him out that round. That's because Crawford's got a different, he's got that switch.
He's got a dog.
Makachev, he's got that switch. When you look at some of the champions, John Jones, like him or hate him, John's got that switch. Things aren't going right for him. John goes, "Right, cool. Forget technique now. We're going to fight. We're going to see if you can outfight me." Makachev got phenomenal technique. In that fight against Dustin Poirier, he said to Dustin Poirier, "I'm going to outfight you because the technique isn't enough today." On Saturday, the technique wasn't enough for Bilal. And only in the last minute of the final round, when Edwards started fighting, you saw him open up Bilal's face, and Bilal was in a world of trouble. Mm-hmm. If he had done that 3 minutes earlier, let alone a round or two earlier, I'd be sitting here with a Jamaica top, Jamaica background, being smug as anything. But instead, it's Jamie who's smug, and I'm having to do this spiel. So I'm livid.
Obviously, because I said Leon's going to win. But the only way Bilal, his key to victory, we just see the game plan he did against Sean Brady, copy and paste against Leon. Pressure, 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 back him up against the fence and going for the takedown. And he got those takedown with ease.
He dropped him on his head. He dropped Leon in his head and he's using the hashtag headshot.
Come out, his coach said that, yeah, Leon may be carrying a back injury. Should have pulled him out of the fight, because I don't think anyone would have really been asked if he would have pulled out and it would have been Aspinall versus Blades.
As the main event.
Should have been the main event.
Instead, Leon's now... The thing is, he's not going to get a rematch. He's not going to rematch because, one, he doesn't deserve one. Two, I think Bilal said something pretty funny. I'm gonna wait 3 years to give him a rematch. That's how long
Bilal's maybe right to do that as well. I can't even lie.
And Bilal's completely right to do that. And now, but the thing is, the contenders at welterweight that he's gonna need to fight. I don't think he'll fight Shavkat.
Sorry, Jay, I know what you're about to type in, Jay. Don't ruin
I'm not typing.
because Shavkat.
What were you about to do, Jay? I saw the comment in the comment section. I saw your eyes light up. Hey, man, you'll get blocked from this channel forever, bro.
Oh, dear me.
So, like, we see the new contenders, right? I don't think Shavkat's gonna fight Leon. Killer. Jack Della Maddalena, not a killer, but it's got that dog in him. Saw against the Gilbert Burns fight, was losing.
Oh, I think Jack's got that killer in him, you know, Luke.
Yeah,
bro.
or got that dog in him because he was losing that fight to Gilbert Burns, and with a broken arm, we went, fuck it. We need to finish. We're going to finish him. Is Ian Gary a killer? Is he a pure finisher? No. He's probably like Leon, where it's all technical. We want to work on the technical things. Just look at Ian Gary's last fight. He was too busy trying to get position rather than get the finish.
Yeah.
And now Leon's put himself in an impossible position because, like, he's going to prove to basically Dana. I don't think really wanted to give him a shot at Usman, but because Usman cleaned out the division, he was sort of had his arms tied and had no choice.
And shout out to Usman. Usman called out Edwards. Said, I've not fought Edwards.
So he's now left in the possible situation. And now for Belal Muhammad, he will not be holding that title for very long. Not because he's not a good fighter, because the politics behind it, him having the belt is the worst thing for the company because of the flag. And if you want to know why, just look at who's at the top of TKO who ain't Dana. Just research that and then come back to me of why Dana looked so pissed off when he had to wrap the belt around Belal.
Dana's always
which tell me that they're going to book him in the fight where they know he's going to lose and they're going to rip that belt off him in the first title defense. Because you can see it now, because they do not want Belal to have that belt for at all, which is a shame because he deserved it. Even if I do think he's probably on every drug possible, because if you see him early career, see his physique early career to now, that's not natural. That does not look natural.
You know what? I've done a little look into this. The two photos that people are using, they were like, what, 5 years apart, 6 years apart? If someone's actually dedicated, in 6 years, you can actually put on good size and good definition. I can't sit here and categorically say he is juicing or he's not. But 6 years is a long time. If someone's training daily or 4 or 5 times a week, like I've got friends who go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, and between 5 years ago to today, they look like completely different humans. I know they're not taking stuff.
Yeah. I know.
I wouldn't be, again, I can't sit here and say I would be surprised if he is, but I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't either.
Yeah. I know Football Gospel said, I disagree if Saudi's got any power over the events, then they'll need Belal, but Belal's not going to be fighting in Saudi.
I actually think he could. I think he could fight in Saudi or Abu Dhabi.
Well, I don't
especially if Makachev's going to be out.
Yeah, unless he fancies a quick turnaround, because I know I saw a certain former champ piping up saying that he will happily take the Belal fight, and that was Kamaru Usman. And I'm thinking, hold up,
that's easy money for
you're 0-3 in your last 3.
Yeah, Usman can't get the title fight.
I don't think Usman wins another fight.
That would be so cool from the UFC to go, yeah, Belal, yeah, you may have won the belt. You may want to go and celebrate. Yeah, fuck it. You're fighting in Saudi and you're fighting against Shavkat. Well, yeah, that's the fight to book.
You know what I feel like? If Shavkat's ready, it's him next. If it's not, it's Ian Gary.
Oh,
yeah, I think
that's another ball fest. Do you know what? I say right now, Belal beats Ian Gary.
Yeah, Belal beats Ian Gary. I just this is what I keep saying about these boring fighters that look, UFC have done it to themselves. They love wrestling. They love amateur wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling, and that unfortunately is ruining the sport. I said this time ago. It's ruining the sport. It's becoming boring. No one wants to see it. Everyone wants to see two warriors on their feet smashing the shit out of each other. The wrestling side of it can be great if done properly, but too many just hold people for 3 minutes and nothing happens. And that, unfortunately, is what's happening. It's unfortunately the case what's happening in MMA right now. And, you know, if you look at all the champions are pretty much wrestlers almost, apart from Aspinall.
No, I'd say apart from Sean, just not a wrestler. Topuria, not a wrestler.
Yeah, but there's no real wrestlers in it.
Topuria started off as a wrestler.
Yeah, it's started off as a wrestler.
Roman.
Yeah, it's just that
Duplessis not what I'd call a wrestler.
Yeah,
Pereira's not a wrestler.
Yeah, it doesn't need.
So there is a balance between the two.
But it's boring, man.
I do agree with you because I know this is not even in the conversation because it's a Sanhagen Umar Nurmagomedov this weekend, right? And Umar came out saying he's getting a guaranteed title shot if he beats Sanhagen.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and look,
what? This guy's pulling out fights injured, and you think he can get a title shot?
And I
freaking win.
I'm with Eddie. I've been watching the sport since 1993, so I've been watching the sport since time, yeah. And
since UFC was born.
Yeah, basically, I watched UFC 1, man. Yeah. I watched it on time delay. I grew up on Pride. What I'm saying about the wrestling is too many people don't do the wrestling properly. And when you're grappling on the ground, it can be a thing of beauty. But most of them just lay there and the refs don't do anything. I've been saying it on this program for so long now. Bring in Pride rules. You know,
but they are going to start being able to knee down opponents and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I need to see more action on the floor. So many people are now just putting one hand on the floor to protect themselves, from a knee or a knee strike or anything like that. Then you could just sit there for 10 minutes.
Bacon,
Just sit there for 10 minutes, man. Just sit there for 10 minutes.
My country's over the last calendar month, my country's been cooked. Dumped out of Copa America. Steve Bruce, Leon, Aljo. What's next, man?
And ARK says it's MMA. Even if it is boring, it's meant to be a sport, not entertainment. Disagree with that. All sport is entertainment.
Well, you know, we're going to touch on that in a minute as relating to Mokaev. I just want to stay on 304 for a sec, though. Tom Aspinall.
Quality, man. Best in the world.
Now, Jay, you said some stuff on the last show, and Luke agreed with it. You're annoyed that he doesn't promote himself better.
Yeah. That's my only problem with him.
I hear it. But I'm going to reel off some other names. I don't think Jones is great at promoting himself. I don't think GSP was great at promoting himself.
No, Dana does it for him.
That's why they never sold pay-per-views.
Dana does it for him. I'm shocked that Dana didn't.
And Jones and St. Pierre, two of the greatest ever, never sold pay-per-views.
All right. But Dana went above and beyond to promote those two fighters, especially. Is it on the UFC to go above and beyond now for someone like Tom Aspinall?
Yeah, they should be behind him. Yeah, they should be. Tom Aspinall should be. He's a heavyweight champion. Yeah, in my opinion, heavyweight is almost a different sport. I know it's the same sport, but heavyweight it's almost like it's a different sport, ain't it?
Yeah.
Aspinall should be the face of the company. Good-looking lad, speaks well. He's a killer in the ring. He's everything. For me, he doesn't swear. He doesn't get into altercations outside. He's a proper martial artist. For me, when you look at someone like Aspinall, he's the pure MMA. If you could make an MMA fighter from the start, it would look like Tom Aspinall, wouldn't it? And they should be like flying the flag for him everywhere around the world. Like, this is what our sport's about. He doesn't swear. He doesn't get into altercations. He doesn't call anyone out. He goes in there and does his business. He's a killer. He's a pure martial artist. That is what that's what Dana always tells us this is about. And he should be the most pushed athlete in this company by a mile. But they push people like Paddy Pimblett more, who I ain't got a problem with. But because he's a mouthpiece, he gets pushed more. You know, much more than Tom does. But he's nowhere nearly a martial artist that Tom is.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous to me. And all this, he's a stand-in for the main event at 3-0, whatever it is. A stand-in. It's a joke to me. It's a joke.
I wonder why Dana's not officially announced Jones Stipe for MSG yet.
Also, shout out to ARK. And Ngannou's another one.
Yeah.
He wasn't promoted very well. No, tell a lie.
Ngannou
he was
had
promoted well up until the Derek Lewis fight. And then after that, they treated him like crap.
Yeah.
I mean, Ngannou could have shot himself in the foot, though. That's the only problem.
Because when Dana goes off a fighter, he goes off. A fighter goes ice cold on a fighter.
Just release an undefeated fighter.
Yeah, which we'll touch on later. But Dana just missing open goals. Open goals, because let's be honest, right? How many people in the chat want to see Jones versus Stipe? Hold on. Where is Sean? Where is Sean that was in the chat on Saturday talking about Jones? Yeah, talking about, oh, Jones is going to finish Tom. No, Jones is running. He is running from this challenge, because this is probably the first time he's going to have to fight someone who is the same size as him, who is heavier than him, who has probably got a better ground game than him, a better striker than him, a bigger challenge than anyone he's ever faced before. He was eerily freaking quiet on
I'm telling you right now,
he was so quiet.
If Aspinall John Jones happens,
and then he tweets, no interest at all. 5 years ago, back in 2018, 2019, when people might have actually given a little bit of a shit about it. I don't care. I don't get. No one cared about this fight apart from John Jones.
Yeah.
Because it's his legacy fight. Because it's his legacy fight. When has Dana cared about other legends getting their legacy fights? Ticking off their bucket list? When was the last time Dana went out of his way to give a legend a fight of his choosing?
No, none. I don't think.
Silence is definitely.
I can tell you what's going to happen. I think Stipe will pull out, because I don't think he'd be ready to go.
They need
John Jones will not fight Aspinall on late notice. He won't fight him on short notice. I guarantee you that right now. John Jones will not fight Aspinall on short notice. And all this thing about John Jones had to get ready to go up to heavyweight and work out and get to the size. Yeah, the John Jones we saw at heavyweight was overweight. That's been real here. He didn't pack on muscle.
No,
he just ate. He just ate. So what was he doing for all that time off, guys? That was building up to heavyweight.
Careful, Jamie. Cabin might be listening.
No, he can come in. Like what? What were we waiting for 3 years?
Is lurking around.
So he just didn't want to fight Ngannou. So what we're saying is John Jones is a pussy. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
I don't think he's scared of Ngannou, but I think he wanted to basically put himself in a position where financially he could turn around and go, well, you know what, I lost, but at least I made this amount of money, and the company weren't going to pay him that amount of money. So he's like, I'm not taking the fight then.
Look, that's also good. Look at it with Aspinall, yeah? Look at Aspinall's CV in the UFC already. He's beaten every single contender.
Apart from Gane. Gane's the only one.
Apart from Cyril Gane, he's beaten every single contender. All the people that John Jones is meant to fight as heavyweight champion.
Hey, John Jones was hyping up Curtis Blades. Yeah. He was hyping him up. And to be fair, Jamie, we both said, what is this promo that he's cutting? Not good enough. He was a little bit sharper in the post-fight press conference.
Oh, I didn't see that. I'll have to go and watch
saying, did Jones tweet? Of course he didn't, because he was hyping Curtis to beat me. Jones would have been tweeting if I would have lost that.
Curtis has the weirdest body shape I've ever seen. His shoulders are by his ears like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then he's got like really soft middle.
Yeah.
I think Curtis could almost fight 205.
Yeah, I know Football Gospel, he said that Tom's the backup for Stipe Jones. We don't want to see Stipe Jones.
Do you reckon, does anyone think John Jones is fighting Aspinall at late notice?
No,
I don't think that at all.
I think Stipe would do it.
No,
John Jones.
No, Stipe. No, because Stipe was offered the Aspinall
only
fight.
fighting Jones, And I don't care if it's
I'm going to put it. I'm going to say something right now that might upset people. Stipe is not the heavyweight GOAT. I'm just going to put it out there.
I agree.
He beat old men, right? He beat old men, and some of them.
Agree.
And one person he thought was a 205 fighter, and only went up in weight because.
Oh wait, don't say that because then we'll put in the part of Jones' career.
He put on 20 pounds of lard. You know, that is the only reason he fought heavyweight. We can all do that. I can be heavyweight tomorrow if I just keep eating. It's not hard. And what? No. A prime Aspinall destroys a prime Stipe. It's not even funny. I'm telling you right. A prime Aspinall, I think, destroys Cain Velasquez. A prime I think he does. I think Velasquez is too small. He's too small. And
I don't know about that one. Jay.
No, he destroys him, man. He destroys him. Have you seen how quick Aspinall's brain works? Did you see how quick he changed his way his foot was for the knockout?
Yeah, because he got caught in that first exchange, and then he
worked it out so quickly, and then just like, who does that to Curtis Blaze? Like literally, who does that?
Kane, no, Jay. Kane was a problem, bro.
Kane was a problem.
Kane, uninjured Kane.
Yeah, I'm saying prime Aspinall beats prime Kane. Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
I'm saying it. I'm saying it. I think prime Aspinall destroys.
All right,
Kane
prime Aspinall, prime Ngannou. Who you taking?
Aspinall.
I don't know about that one, Jay. That's a crazy one.
I don't think Ngannou's got a great chin.
He doesn't need to have one. He
does with Aspinall. I also think Aspinall's more powerful than Ngannou as well.
No. I think he's more accurate and quicker than Ngannou. Ngannou's punching.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen a heavyweight.
He's talking fact. You can still have the Jones Stipe fight. Just strip Jones off the belt.
Yeah.
Strip him off the belt, but you can't do that because
Aspinall doesn't stand a chance against Prime Stipe. He will kill Prime Stipe.
I think he beats Prime Stipe.
Yeah, he would destroy. Stipe's not that great.
Yeah, beats Prime DC as well.
Yeah, DC's just a lard ass. You know, it's just.
Here's the thing: Stipe beat DC when DC wasn't the prime DC.
DC's never really DC is not a proper heavyweight because he can fight at 205. If you can fight at 205, you're not a proper heavyweight. Aspinall could never get down to 205. Brock Lesnar could never get down to 205. I think Brock Lesnar was born at 205. Some people you can't legitimately get down to 205. Yeah. You know, you're a pure heavyweight. You know, DC wasn't a pure heavyweight. The only way he became a heavyweight is because he ate. Simple as that. He even admits it. He don't disagree with it. I just think Aspinall. You go look at Aspinall's career so far, guys. Look at his CV. He's beaten everyone, and it don't take long. He's had 18 fights, and in them 18 fights, it's only taken 40 minutes of ring time. Do you know how mad that is? And we're talking about all the contenders in the heavyweight division right now.
He's gonna have an issue like Pantoja, but that when he becomes champion, like the full champion, he's got no one to fight.
Yeah.
I wonder if you'd be able to entice Ngannou back to have. Just saying.
The only heavyweight I don't think Aspinall beats in their prime is Fedor. Steve, so I literally do think prime Fedor was just different.
Yeah, it was prime Fedor.
Is this Steve the Chelsea fan, Steve?
Yeah,
these guys are casuals.
I know.
High-level opponents, they're fighting against a bunch of low-level guys. What?
Everyone in the division, Steve.
A low-level guy.
Everyone in the division. Who else is he meant to fight? They're everyone in his division. Guy.
Steve's doing Steve things again. Big up yourself, Steve. Paddy Pimblett, is he back? And has he surpassed our expectations? And could he go a step further and actually be or become a top 5 UFC fighter?
Okay, the only thing that he's exceeded my expectations at is that he suffered no damage from Bobby Green or King Green, whatever the fuck he wants to call himself. Yeah. But that was the only thing that surprised me. Stupid by Green to even shoot for the takedown. But then when you look back at the sequence, I think he got caught with a sort of a leg kick, and that sort of caught him off balance and basically lunged him into the takedown. But my opinion on Paddy has not changed since he made his UFC debut. And until he sorts his striking defense and stops leaving his chin hanging out, he gets caught. If he gets caught by a powerful striker, then he's in a world of trouble. And for me, it was the best he looked probably since his UFC debut, actually. That was the best performance since he made his debut. But the striking defense, that is still an issue. And that's not changed. So he's not really exceeded expectations. Now, this is where he's going to take... Now, this is where you'll see how well the matchmakers match him up. Are you going to match him up against people like a Roynato Moicano, who's mainly a jiu-jitsu guy with okay hands? Or do you throw him to the wolves and give him an elite striker like Benoit Saint-Denis, Rafael Fiziev? But he's sort of lucky in the lightweight division, because how many elite strikers do you really have at lightweight? They are mostly wrestlers or jiu-jitsu practitioners. And what's Paddy's main strength? It's grappling. Look at the smoothness on the ground. We talk about previously about when people wrestle, when people grapple, it's not great because they're just hugging each other. Hey, when Paddy got into the position, fucking hell, I think he finished him with like 2 submissions.
Yeah, he did.
But for me, expectation-wise, he's not really exceeded, underperformed, because for me, until he makes those big adjustments, he will not be a champion. And this is a good opportunity for him to prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. I would love it for him to become champion and shut me up. But I need to see it.
I hear it. Right, people, if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, subscribe to Jamie and Luke's channels. Link are in the description. Gonna move on. Gonna stick loosely with Tom Aspinall. He suggested a heavyweight tournament. He suggested on the same card as Jones versus Stipe, he fights Alex Pereira, who's apparently expressed desire to move up to heavyweight.
That is the only guy.
Boys, would you be up for that?
No, don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, do it as a fan. I mean, that's great. Yeah. But if I'm Tom, literally, I do think if he does move up to heavyweight, Pereira, he's going to be smaller than Tom, and he's not a natural heavyweight. But his skill set and power, if his power even carries up to heavyweight and he knocks heavyweights out, everyone's in trouble. I just think that's the look, that's what you got to love Aspinall. He's like, I fight Pereira, and then that's when it gets thingy. It's like, you don't need to do that, mate. You are next. You just chill out a bit.
Tom has admitted, I think, in the post fight, he is not fighting anybody else. He's not taking any fights.
He says that, but Tom also gets itchy knuckles. So, say for example, Jones and Stipe fight. That'll be in November, right? The earliest Jones will turn around is February or March.
Yeah.
That means Aspinall's going to go from July to March. And remember, his fight was only 1 minute long.
Yeah,
true.
I see Aspinall fighting again.
I see, actually, I do it. He's put it in Dana's mind now. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Pereira Aspinall.
Hey,
if he's put it in his mind now, and if he's up for it, it wouldn't shock me. If Aspinall gets past Pereira, then if I'm John Jones, I wouldn't bother. I'll just leave the title in the ring.
So I actually wouldn't mind seeing. Now, Cyril Gane's already booked up with Volkov.
It's the only fight he ain't. It's only Gator ain't fought. Cyril Gane.
Yeah.
I know we're going low down the rankings here. I know we are. I wouldn't mind seeing Aspinall get thrown in there with Jonathan Almeida just to keep himself fresh. Get another win.
That's so much of a risk. It's a risk, though.
It is. But it's also a fight I think is very winnable for Tom. And it just keeps him fresh. Let's say he's able to do that on the same card as Jones Stipe. Then him and Jones, if they both win their fights,
it does make sense. Like a warm-up fight, you need because it's so long in between two fights.
Yeah.
And that's what they do in boxing. Sometimes you call a boxer out, you're destined to fight that boxer, but it's like an 8-month time period, or you got to wait. So you just need to keep loose. So you have that warm-up fight with people down the card, don't you? That you don't have to take, but you do.
Yeah.
I just don't see Dana doing that. I just see Dana giving Pereira. I don't think Dana likes Aspinall.
So I've got a little theory. I think because Islam Makhachev might be out for the Abu Dhabi card, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Is that October, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'll fight for the rest of the year.
I think Ankalaev and Pereira fight on that card in the main event. And I think Bilal Muhammad and Shavkat fight on the co-main event. I don't think Bilal Muhammad will potentially. I don't think he'll get a main event.
So you're putting 3 title fights on the Abu Dhabi card.
What's the other? Max and Ilya.
Max Ilya's on that, near enough confirmed on the card. Unless you're going to super sack.
Whoa! I thought that's happening at the Bernabeu. Everyone come to me and said that's definitely happening at the Bernabeu.
It's not, I think because of COVID. The Bernabeu have had a backlog of events.
It was never going to happen at the Bernabeu.
You got to pay for it.
Dana says it himself. He doesn't like doing stadium fights.
Yeah, because he can't fill it. It looks embarrassing.
He can't fill it. And plus, he can't say that there's no roof because there is a roof at the Bernabeu. And when you saw the Influencer boxing event in Spain that was held at the Bernabeu,
sold out, wasn't it? Sold
85,000.
Yeah, I don't think UFC and do I think UFC sell that out? I'm not sure, I'm not sure.
No.
Because the ticket price would be stupid. That's the thing, though. How much was the ticket price for that Influencer boxing event? It might have been really cheap. Where the ticket pricing for that UFC card is going to be ridiculous, ain't it? That it might not be able to afford.
Sorry, boys. I'm just looking through at the moment. So O'Malley versus Marab is UFC Noche, which is effectively UFC 306. Then it jumps straight to 308, unless that's a typo.
No, they ain't got anything built yet.
That's the 27th of October. So, and after that, then you would have 3. Who's November? November is Jones and Stipe.
You know why it's nothing there? Because they're trying to work out how to get McGregor, where to fit McGregor in.
That's a shout,
I think Ilya and Max goes on the same card as Jones and Stipe.
Cool, that'd be a card.
No, I think it's close to being signed for Abu Dhabi.
I can see them moving.
Islam has still got an issue with his hand. I don't think Islam fights this year.
I think if Bilal turns around and says, "Yeah, I'll do Abu Dhabi," and Pereira says, "Yeah, I'll do Abu Dhabi," I think those are the 2 fights, and I think Max Ilya gets moved to November, and then Conor gets December.
I forgot it's UFC 305 next, and it's Duplessis Adesanya next, boys.
I know.
Yeah, have you seen how shit that card is like?
It is.
It's terrible.
Meaty looking card.
Terrible. Terrible. Oh, what are we doing here? I think they're desperate just to get this McGregor fight done. Trying to figure out where to put it.
Contract, to be honest, they're desperate to fight his contract out.
They're trying to figure out where to do it. I feel for Max and Ilya. Firstly, I think that should be a main event somewhere.
It should be.
They deserve it. Their careers, what they've achieved, should be a main event. It's a good fight. It's a big fight. People will love watching these two.
Dana's not. Sorry to cut you. Dana's not stupid, Jay. Dana knows the fan base are not clamoring for Stipe and Jones, especially after Aspinall's performances recently. Deep down knows. Remember, he's been glazing Jones for a while. Might as well call him flipping Krispy Kreme at the moment, because all he's doing is glazing Jones at the moment, right? Yeah. But he also knows Jones Stipe doesn't sell a lot of pay-per-view, and it might sell out the stadium, but it's not going to sell a lot of pay-per-view. If you put Max and Ilya on that card as well, that pay-per-view goes from maybe 300,000 buys to at least 700,000 buys. Based on the star power of Max and Ilya at the moment. I think Ilya and Max go on that November card. And I think they try and get Bilal and Alex Pereira to fight on the Abu Dhabi card. Because Ankalaev has got a big following in Abu Dhabi. So is Bilal Muhammad. And probably so is Shavkat. And Alex Pereira is the biggest star in the company at the moment, who's active.
Hey, don't forget, you'll have to to fix in Pena versus Pennington somewhere between the end of the year. Sorry, I thought I'd mention that he's still got to fit in that.
They'll fit that in anywhere. Is Alex Pereira Muslim? Even if he is, even more reason why I think
verbally agreed Ilya Topuria and Max Holloway for UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi.
Until I see it signed, bro. Remember, Jamal Hill and Alex Pereira, they were signed for 301.
Salt Lake City, but it's now heading to Abu Dhabi.
Jamal Hill and Alex Pereira is meant to be 301. That was verbally agreed, and what happened? They headlined 300.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, Dana had to pull a rabbit out of his ass.
So even though we want to see it, you both don't think the heavyweight tournament that Tom suggested will happen?
No, I mean Tom's brave for mentioning it, but he has got a fight. I mean, July to March is a long wait, and he only had a exactly 2-minute fight. He finished 2 minutes.
No, literally 1 minute.
1 minute dead on.
That was Sergey Pavlovich, which was about 2 minutes.
Another minute, yeah. So he's had 2 fights that lasted 3 minutes. He's going to need a fight. He's literally going to need a fight around maybe October, November time. And
if he gets past Jelton Almeida with Jelton Almeida's wrestling, it sells the fight with him and Jones even more.
Yeah, it does. It does. There's something about. I just don't think Jones fights him. I don't think it ever happens. I don't think it ever happens.
Speaking of grapplers, boys, Mokaev has been released by the organization.
Weird.
23 years old, undefeated, 7-0 in the UFC. And Dana White basically said PFL will have a great fighter on their hands, a great undefeated fighter on their hands. Now, the lead up to the fight, Manel Kape, 5 days out from his fight against Alex Perez, actually cut Mokaev by headbutting him in the face. Mokaev had a poor outing in that fight. Everyone said played it safe. If that did happen 5 days before, he did. But based off that news, if he had a cut which had to have stitches, he kind of has to play it safe, because if he gets cut again, then that opens up the fight could be stopped on doctor stoppage. Not making an excuse, just adding a bit of context. Then Mokaev admits to inviting Manel Kape over to take a picture, based off them being both Muslim and trying to show unity, and sucker punches him. I don't like that. If he sucker punched him, fair enough. Don't use your religion to sucker punch someone. That is cowardly. And then before the fight, they look like they're gonna fight. Then, as it always happens, whether it be Rampage versus Rashad, Colby versus Masvidal, any real blood war or blood beef ends up like this.
Blood feud,
yeah. Ends up like this simply because neither man wants to lose because of the stakes on the table. So they kind of go into a show. Has a boring decision win against Manel Kape, but he's undefeated. In my opinion, the most interesting personality in the flyweight division. Would have probably got a title shot next as well. Is this a big blunder by the UFC?
Yeah, I mean, look, if they're letting him go because of all that, right? I literally watched Conor McGregor run at a bus, throw something at the bus where it broke the window and cut Rose's eye open. Yeah,
and Michael Chiesa and Ray Borg.
And Dana pretty much went, "Well done," and got me more pay-per-view buys to the next fight. Right, and used it for promotional. John Jones, how many arrests? How many arrests now?
I lost count.
How many arrests? John Jones is the only fighter in UFC history as well to not take a Chael Sonnen fight on short notice and have the card completely cancelled.
Yeah,
all right, no problem. Because this geezer doesn't make Dana money, he doesn't give a shit.
So you're calling that double standards then?
Yeah, it's what it is. He don't make Dana money. So if you don't make Dana money, Dana don't care. That's the simple way it is. If you make money, it don't matter what you do. If you make publicity and money, like Conor got arrested and went to New York to go to New York courts, and we all saw it on the telly. It was everywhere, all over our news feed.
Yeah.
Next Conor fight, boom, pay-per-view buys, massive, huge. Yeah, no one could believe that it was just massive. Dana was laughing all the way to the bank. If it doesn't make you money, and Dana he doesn't make Dana money, Dana don't give a shit.
Do you remember what Dana White said after Colby Covington made the comments about Leon Edwards' dad?
Pay-per-view went up.
Pay-per-view went up.
That's all he cares about. It's all he cares about.
Let me put my 2 pence in.
Conor McGregor knocked out. Conor McGregor tried to knock out an old man in a pub.
Yeah. And still live to tell the tale. Yeah. Let me throw my 2 pence into this. Jamie, completely agree. If you don't sell and Dana doesn't like you, your life in the company is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Is his fighting style the most exciting? No. But let's not. This guy has got finishes in the UFC. Right?
Yeah.
He's in a division that Dana does not like. Look how he treated Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait to boot him out of that company. And plus, he's also cut another very good flyweight. Gets him lots of finishes, lots of bonuses. There was a rumor that was shut down that he was trying to negotiate with PFL to sort of get himself a better UFC contract, which was shut down by Tim Simpson, his manager, basically saying that was shut down. That's why Dana mentioned the PFL. And apparently he's been basically a nightmare to work with the matchmakers. It's been very difficult to match up. And I do blame the UFC because when he came in, Mokaev's big thing was, I want to beat John Jones's record. I want to beat his record. I want to be the youngest champ. And to be honest, the UFC have done a pretty shitty job of trying to help him do that. And I reckon they shoved the rocket on him a bit too early. And they've realized and gone, shit, this guy ain't ready. This guy ain't ready. His fighting style's not great. We don't particularly like him. Look what happened with the Manu Cap stuff.
Yeah.
Let's cut him. But let's talk about Manu Cap. You're lucky to still be in this company.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because let's be honest, you should be fired too. Not because of the whole thing. Look at the incident with him and Izzy. Yes, he got Izzy to sit down, which was quite funny. But he used the F word. I'm not gonna repeat it on there.
Yeah.
Is it highly offensive? On the was it the Strickland Adesanya pay-per-view? Manu Cap called him in France the F word.
Yeah.
So, but he's got an exciting fight style, and probably him and Dana get along very well, and he'll probably get a good fight next, and he'll fight for the title. And Mokaev is probably going to go to PFL. I know Mokaev is begging for Dana to please let him resign him, but it's not going to happen. And plus, the PFL don't have a flyweight division. They don't have one.
Yeah.
When flyweights from the UFC go to the PFL, they go up to bantamweight. Look at Sergio Pettis. Went to Bellator PFL and had to go up to bantamweight. So he's fucked. He basically fucked. His career is basically fucked, because if he loses in the PFL, then fucking hell, you're not going back to the UFC.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but he has conducted himself very, very poorly, and he admitted it. He literally admitted sucker punching him. I thought, oh my days, you've been hitting the head too much.
But the problem is, and this is the issue Dana White's got, because he's let people like Colby get away with certain things, Jones, Conor McGregor, Strickland, because he set that precedent, he is showing double standards, and it's just not right. You're either all in or you're all out. You can't pick and choose for me when you say, oh, we'll let that person slide, or we won't let that person slide, because that's when it becomes an issue. If Dana White was just straight down the middle and was like, look, we know it's John Jones, but he's got to go. Maybe in a year's time, if he gets his stuff together, we get him back, but he's got to go. Conor McGregor, biggest star in the sport, but you know what? You can't be throwing stuff at bus windows and making me lose 3 fighters off a pay-per-view card. He's got to go for a year or two. But Dana
White's career's never been the same since that bus incident. It's never been the same.
No.
Chiesa career basically went downhill after that instant.
Same with Ray Borg. Ray Borg had to have surgery in it because glass got in his eye.
What was the matter with Chiesa?
Chiesa's face got cut.
Yeah.
So he was meant to be fighting in a fight, which I think would have got him a closest.
Yeah, because the bus was taken to press conferences, weren't it, to talk about future fights? Yeah, look, the problem is the reason Dana won't get rid of all them people because it's bad PR, and no one will, and they'd lose so much money because UFC's on the stock exchange.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. Bobby Green and Sarukian got into it in the hotel. Yeah. Khabib slapped Artem Lobov and surrounded him with his people. Like, so what? Dana White recently said it's free. Yeah, do what you want if you make money, basically.
If you make money for me, do what you want. It's free reign.
It's shocking. It's shocking. Look, I wish Mokaev all the best. He absolutely didn't cover himself in glory, but he wasn't the only one who was bad in that situation. If the matchmakers are turning around saying as well, like, your fighting style this, your fighting style that, the matchmaker shouldn't be doing that.
And also with Dana, I want to hear. It's just from his post-match fight press conference when he was talking. He sounds like he's sick of grappling.
He sounds like he's sick of sport.
He just wants stand-up fights.
He sounds like he's sick of the UFC.
Yeah, he just wants stand-up fights. He doesn't want wrestlers. He doesn't want grappling. I know I said it earlier. I do like wrestling. I think we've got to a time. Yeah, it's done correctly. It's a beautiful art form, and it's so exciting as much as it is on the feet. But at the moment, you've got too many wrestlers that just pin people down for 3 minutes to get the round, and that's an issue. But yeah, Dana used to love it. Dana hates everything right now. He literally hates everything. He hated Manchester. They are never fighting in the Co-op Arena ever again. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to come back to England.
No, I think he only wants to go to O2 because he loves the London crowd, don't he? He literally doesn't like anywhere else in England apart from London. The London crowd type.
If you had a UK pay-per-view card and you had the fights on in the middle of the fucking night, are you surprised the atmosphere's shit?
Yeah.
No. What you should have done is that you should have put the pay-per-view at a time suitable for the UK.
I don't know any other sport that's done that.
No, me neither.
I don't know.
Yes, plus he loves power slap too much. Yeah, maybe he needs to compete and someone needs to slap some sense into him.
Or maybe if you're not that passionate about UFC anymore, let someone else take over who is. Because he doesn't seem like he wants to be there half the time. He doesn't really seem like he enjoys the UFC anymore.
And he's not increasing bonuses. He said, I'm done with it. No one wanted the decision. So I'm done with it. It's like, maybe don't make everyone fight at 6 a.m. You know, that are mostly British fighters. You know, like, can't climatise. I said before in the preview, didn't I? I said, I reckon it'll suit more of the foreign fighters than it will the British fighters this time.
Yeah.
Because they're going to climatise travelling over anyway with jet lag. So they go to sleep anyway at their times. So they'll be awake earlier. So they'll be awake, be better for them. So, yeah, I don't know. Dana just it's not the same Dana White, is it? You know, you see that 141 there, UFC 141. That's Dana at his absolute
since he sold the company, his passion's gone.
Well, since his boyfriend's left. Let's face it, since his boyfriend's left, who run the company, by the way, better than he did. Dana was just a face.
Dana's lost his drive, his passion. Everything he's tried to set up since has failed. What happened to Zuffa boxing? Failed. He's taken power slap, which was a Western.
The thing is, though, that hasn't failed. That's the scary thing.
Pardon?
That hasn't failed. That's the only problem. That's getting popular.
Yeah, getting popular because the modern generation,
like seeing people share each other.
And someone getting slapped. Yeah, because it's funny.
I like it because it's stupid. You just see. I saw a 6'5" man who was up. Put his. There was this fight. It was meant to be heavyweight division. Yeah, they have divisions, believe it or not. Right, and this 6'5" man who weighed about 350 pounds, absolutely massive. Yeah, he would take up a whole Fiat Punto, you know, just on his own, right? fighting like a 6 foot man who he outweighed by about 150 pounds, but they were both heavyweights. Arms behind your back with that little floaty.
Oh.
And he just went, what bang! And his eyeball came out of his socket and went back in. It was like, and then Sean Strickland's on commentary going, "Oh, this is absolute," and oh my god,
Sean
this is what Dana loves now. This is what Dana loves now, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's get little influencers. Hey, I love it how Nina was taking shots at the Manchester crowd. Oh, imagine if people think that if I fell asleep in the crowd, people would have a go at me. I'm thinking, no one gives a fuck about you.
Yeah. She's getting irritating as well.
They just don't get
it. Because Dana wants you there. Because you listen to Daddy Dana.
Yeah.
Yeah. You may ask some different questions.
She's like, how did I get to 1 million subscribers? Maybe because you get your tits out all the time, love.
Yeah. I still do think she's good, but yeah, she's definitely been helped massively by the organization.
Yeah. She's got UFC journalist credentials, guys, but Ariel Wani hasn't. Let's just leave it there.
Crazy stuff. Before we sign off, boys, the UFC Sphere card was announced. Just gonna read out the card. So Irina Aldana versus Norma Dumont, Raul Rojas Jr. versus Adri Quileg, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez, Grasso versus Shevchenko, and Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Merab in the main event.
That is the worst main event in UFC history.
Dead.
I actually think that's the worst main event in UFC history.
Do you think Dana's done it again where he's overpromised and underdelivered? Because the way he's been talking about this card and
oh my
right, I actually think it's a good card. But no, in fact, I think the final 3 fights of the card are really good. The rest is
when he said when I go debut at MSG, he put on you got
McGregor
Alvarez became 2-weight division.
Khabib was in the prelims, by the way.
Yeah, and he was in the It was a great card. Yeah, UFC 200. Obviously, some things that didn't go his way, but he tried to make the card better than what it was because of injuries and that. It was meant to be Jones and Daniel Cormier, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's the main event of UFC 200.
Yeah.
This thing is a once-in-a-lifetime sort of showcase because it's an LED screen. It's a whole 360. They can do so much mad shit in there, which, by the way, they won't because I bet you any money they put a black sheet all the way around it so they don't use it. You know, like you do with seats when there's no one taking the seats out, they put black sheets over it.
What AEW do at the moment, right?
Yeah, exactly. Big dig. But this...
No, it wasn't even meant to be, I promise.
I bet you any money. Dana looks at that and went, I can't have all that. I can't have all this lighting. We'll put black sheets all around that. Yeah. And you won't even know they're in the Sphere. I didn't even know they was in the co-op. The co-op arena is brand new.
Yeah.
Brand new. It looked like it looked like the oldest building I've ever seen because of the way they promote it.
Yeah.
And you got this Sphere card, a once-in-a-lifetime thing that's going to be amazing. And you put on O'Malley as your main event in what arguably to me might be the weakest named main event in UFC history. Like, I mean, honestly, what weaker sounding main event as them two in UFC history?
Yeah. For a card this size, I know O'Malley's a big star.
He's not a big star. He is not a big star.
He's a star.
Yeah. He's a big star to Dana.
Who did he talk about again the other day?
He talked about
he talked about Conor McGregor again. So I want to fight Conor McGregor.
Did you just call me fucking Conor Gallagher? Yeah, boom.
I did, Conor Gallagher. Yeah. Only because what happened today in that Chelsea show, Jesus.
Yeah. But you know, when he's got no star power, like he's got no star power, has to talk about McGregor to make himself feel like a star.
Look what P3 says though. Look at what the cheapest ticket is. But that's look at the cheapest ticket for that Sphere card is 2.3k.
Yes,
and you're putting on O'Malley Merab in the main event. But I'm sorry, that is the worst sounding
Oh, to be fair to ARK, Strickland versus Duplessis.
Oh, you know what? That's a fucking
yeah, that was a terrible main event as well. That is a great point, ARK. That is terrible. Like, what are we doing here? Like, for me, that's a fight night main event. It's not a pay-per-view main event, especially in the Sphere. It's like once in a lifetime, and you're doing that as your main event. For me, it should have been John Jones Stipe in the Sphere.
Yeah.
That should have been the main event in the Sphere. That should have been the main event. Not the co-main event's all that matters. We know
this. Sorry for Dan Ige, by the way.
Yeah, but not just again. Surely Dan Ige versus Yair Rodriguez, like that's such an easy fight to make, no?
But of course, when Dana says he makes promises to fighters, I don't believe him because Dana promised Dan Ige that he'd be on the Sphere card.
Yeah,
and unless I'm blind,
Dan Ige saved a card for him. Took a fight on 4 hours' notice.
Oh my god, Dana's a scumbag, ain't he? Matchmaking has declined. We all know why matchmaking's declined because a certain little fella left the company. It's never been the same since. Can't remember his name now. It's gone out on the top of my head. Who's the little short fella who did all the matchmaking?
What Lorenzo?
Yeah, like Andy Lorenzo in UFC.
Sean Shelby?
No, it was. I can't remember the guy's name. Dana always spoke about him. He was the matchmaker. I can't remember his name.
I feel like Hunter Campbell does have his hands behind his back.
Yeah, but Hunter Campbell seems like he's more in tune with what's going on than the
fighters respect Hunter Campbell more than Dana White. That says
Dana
Joe Silver.
Well, Hunter Campbell doesn't.
Joe Silver. There you go. Joe Silver. Joe Silver was the matchmaker, wasn't he? He put beautiful matches up together. I actually think Hunter, if he took over, you'd see a different UFC, in my opinion.
But Dana's never letting go of that power.
No, he's not.
Never.
He's not. Well, boys, I'm gonna sign off there. I think we all got to cook in this one. Obviously, Jay, you said some stuff about Leon. We'll I'd say we'll speak about offline. Maybe give it 24 hours.
We'll speak after this.
But no, boys, let the people know what you've got coming out next. Jay, I'll start with you.
I have got the watch along tomorrow night.
Nice.
Liverpool Arsenal. Should be good. Should be fun.
Nice. Make sure you tune into that, people. And subscribe to Jamie's channel. Links in the description. Luke, what have you got coming up, bro?
I think tomorrow I'll be doing a stream tomorrow, probably around this time before everyone does their watch-alongs for the Liverpool game that I will not be watching because I'll be asleep. But yeah, it will just be the latest news because I'm surely that there'll be something popping up probably tomorrow.
Yeah,
about something. So I'll do a stream tomorrow. It'll be the first one in a while that I've done a stream that's not previewing something. But I'll probably touch on the Abu Dhabi card this weekend. That is surprisingly stacked.
Yeah, and at a nice time as well. Imagine that.
And I'm working as well. So.
People, if you haven't smashed the like button already, please do. Make sure you subscribe to all 3 channels. It's been another one in the books. UFC 304 heavyweight tournament suggested by Aspinall. That it happens. Mokaev is gone, and the UFC Sphere event has been announced with the fight card. People, until we're back again, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Sanderson Show. Take care, everyone.